Okay, so just to summarize what I mentioned just now, explain how far data supports or rejects. So whenever you see this type of question, then you have to provide a supporting evidence and a rejecting evidence. So stand followed by description of how to show and followed by the evidence. Okay, just read through. Yeah, and then of course the anomaly, but similar success criteria, then the description and the evidence. So remember the anomaly goes against the main description relationship. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is what I want to focus on, which is evaluation. So this one is evaluation for GI. So they say evaluate the reliability of data collection method used in this investigation. So whenever you see the word evaluate, you know it is two-sided. So you must tell me whether it's reliable or not reliable because we are talking about reliability of data collection. Okay, so can you please highlight or line or something? So we are talking about reliability. But if the question is about accuracy, then use the word accuracy. If the question is talking about conclusion, whether evaluate the conclusion, then it's two-sided, whether it's conclusion is valid or not valid. So you must follow the question. But this question talks about reliability. So whether it's reliable or not reliable. Okay. So when you see evaluation and when you see this type of question, it is the same way on how you did this question. So stand, followed by description, followed by evidence. Same thing. So if you look at it, so it's like SDE, right? Yeah, it's the same thing, SDE. Okay, so what do you mean by stand, description, and evidence? So let's look at the reliability. So I will do this. So I can say data collection method is reliable. So this is my stand, right? Then followed by description. This means that the sample size that was conducted during the study was sufficient for data as it has collected more than 100 samples. So I provide a description, right? A brief description. Then I continue with my evidence. So for example, in this study, the investigators have 100 samples. Okay, sorry, this one is more than 30 samples. So the investigators have 100 samples, large enough to represent the school. Okay, so from here, I have my stand. So this is my stand, right? Followed by my description. How you know it is big enough? Because it's more than 30. So you know it's more than 30, it's big enough, sufficient enough. And of course, you need to provide an evidence saying that, hey, it's more than 30, but in the study it's actually more than 100 now, it's 100 samples. Therefore, it becomes reliable. Okay. Then after that, I need to explain unreliability. Right? So I do the same way. I do the same way. I follow my stand. The data collection method is unreliable. Right? So this is my stand. Followed by my description. This means that the convenient sampling that was conducted is biased, right? And then continue. For example, certain groups may be overrepresented or underrepresented, causing data to be skewed to a particular group of people. Now, for the example here, you can say certain groups of people, certain groups such as CCA or form class, okay, may be overrepresented or underrepresented. So it shows that you are able to provide a certain group of people in a particular school. So same thing, this is my stand and followed by description and then followed by the example. So there's nothing different about the writing technique. It's just the ability to read the figure, to read the question and adapt to the question. Okay, so once done, then you are done. This is the unreliable evaluate because two sides, 2 marks. So one paragraph is 2 marks. It's a 4 mark question. You are required to do 2 marks. Okay, okay. 1 minute question. Any question?
So one reliable is SDE.
SD. So stand, the description, and the example.
Okay.
Then unreliable is stand, description, and example. So with one paragraph is 2 marks, the other paragraph is 2 marks, then you have your 4 marks, allocated marks. Okay, any other question? Okay, no question. I'll move on to the next evaluation question. Okay, the next evaluation question is not a GI question, it's a GIEL question. So based on figure 2, evaluate the ecosystem that has the greatest impact on the well-being, residents, and justify the choice. Okay, so if you look at figure 2, figure 1.2 is actually a picture of a reservoir. Okay, people fishing and so on and so forth, right? I think you all remember lah when you did the TBA, where the picture, just remember, just try to remember the picture is about a reservoir and then people fishing, people swimming, and so on and so forth. Okay, so for your exam, evaluate. Remember, whenever Mr. Taufik say evaluate means it must be 2 sides. So whether it, okay, 2-sided. Then the ecosystem, social services. So you know there are 4 ecosystems, right? PRCS. Provisional, regulating, cultural, and service. Cultural and supporting, right? PRCS. So, you must have 2 sides. So, what you can do is you provide one ecosystem that is the greatest impact and the other ecosystem that may not be the greatest impact. Okay, because we will not specify which ecosystem, because you're supposed to evaluate the ecosystem. Okay. Now, this question is a 3 mark or 4 mark question. So it's very different from the 9 mark evaluation question. Okay, that one we'll go through on the 11th of October. So this 3 mark evaluation question, 3 mark evaluation question, you have to go straight to the reasoning. Okay, you are not going to dilly-dally talk about the SDE, success, limitation. No, you are going to go straight to the comparing or the conclusion itself. So the reasons, the decision, conclusion, why one ecosystem is greater. Okay, so when you see this question, immediately identify which one is greater than the other. So you know there is reservoir, you know there is fishing and so on and so forth. Okay, so you need to know which one is greater. Okay, so let's look at the sample answer. So the way I do the explanation is the same, right? I use stand. So followed by start my stand. The ecosystem service that has the greatest impact on the well-being of residents is regulating services. So I say regulating services is the best. Followed by my description. So when I talk about description, Why? Why is it the best? Because it is able to provide flood mitigation provided by the Kallang River and other water bodies. Flood prevention ensures safety during heavy rainfall. So safety is very important, which is essential in Singapore's tropical climate. Right? So I'm able to provide a slight description because flood mitigation for river and for reservoir, flood mitigation is important. Then my evidence from figure 1.2, this issue is supported by the large presence of green spaces and water bodies that help regulate the environment. Then the last part here, protecting residents from risk of flooding and improving blah 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 is my explanation. Okay, so you are providing SDEE. So explanation is here. Okay, I will not highlight it in gray. I'll put it in maybe purple. Okay, so a very simple SDE description using the figure to support your answer. Sample two. So sample two. The ecosystem with the greatest impact on well-being is cultural services. Then followed by my description. As these spaces provide vital recreational opportunity for residents as fishing, and this enhance mental well-being, physical health, and community bonding. So my explanation is already here, right? Then I use my evidence. From figure 1.2, I chose cultural services because the large water body is clearly designed for recreational such as fishing zone, which is in the signage, and also areas that are frequent by residents and used as socializing. Again, my explanation is here. So a brief explanation, improving the quality of life through interacting with one another. So my explanation is here. Okay. So far, so good. Or blur. Who is blur? Must tell me. So for this question, for this evaluation question, you go straight to the reasoning. Okay, go straight to the reasoning. What is your stand? Okay, so I just go through 1 mark for each evaluation with the greatest impact with 3 marks. Okay, so if you are able to give further elaboration, I give you 1 additional mark. If you are able to support with evidence, I give you 1 mark. So, so you are only required to do 1 paragraph immediately into any of the ecosystem. Okay? Okay, any questions? Cannot just listen only, no. Must ask. If you got question, ask. So is it only 1 paragraph? Yes, for this question, it's only 1 paragraph because you are only required to do the greatest, right? But if I change the question to evaluate whether regulating ecosystem is better than, then you have to do 2 paragraphs. Okay? But that one is it will be a 9 mark question. It won't be a 3 mark question. For this question, immediately you go into the reasoning. Okay, then do I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. If not, I'll move on to the next one. So the next one is the biggest question. Okay. So community-based tourism and ecotourism are very much similar. So how far do you agree with this statement? Explain your answer. Okay. So for this question, it can be this way, or it can also be community-based tourism and pro-poor tourism are very different from each other. Or it can also be community-based tourism is a far more greater tourism technique to improve world tourism. Okay. So when you are having this kind of question and you know it's a 9 mark question, okay, you know it's a 9 mark question, then you know you are going to write very, very big. There's a lot of things to write. Okay, so you need to plan. So let's look at this first question first. Okay, community-based tourism and ecotourism are very much similar. So when you look at this question, your SDEE and your success and limitation must be on point. You must know everything about community-based tourism and you must know everything about ecotourism. Must know everything. Okay. So so if you look at the level 1 mark, it's just a 0 to 2 marks. Means 0 for 2 marks means you didn't provide any stand. It's very weak and it's very unclear. And it's just basic answer lah. So you just give me a stand or state and definition. Not much things. Okay. Level 2 mark, okay, we will be able to give me an agreement or disagreement. Okay, so you are able to provide both agree and disagree. But your SDE, SL is not so strong. Okay, and then of course the level 3 mark is of course the best. Okay, so let me go through the sample answer, so that everybody knows what is happening. Number 1, you need to provide me with an opening statement, right? Like debate lah. When you do your debate, you must have an opening statement. Okay, and this opening statement must tell me whether you are supporting the question or not supporting the question, or whether you are siding both sides, or whether you are siding only one side. Okay, so you must answer the question with a context, okay, to have quality base lah in your context. So from this, I see that community-based tourism and ecosystem share several similarities. So I am going back to the question, talking about similarity, right? So share several similarities, which promote sustainability and benefiting local communities, right? So I provide a clear stand, which is there is similar in terms of both tourism. And then I move on by saying that, however, there is also difference among the tourism. And I need to tell them what is the difference in a very brief manner. So what is the difference? The focus is different. So community-based tourism focuses on social and cultural engagement, while ecotourism focuses on environmental conservation. Now, with this paragraph, if you are able to provide me this paragraph, then it is very clear to me, very clear to the marker, that you are able to understand the question, that's number 1, and you are able to differentiate between your similar stand and your different stand. Okay, you are able to tell me that yes, even though there are similarities, there are also differences. So you are able to tell me two sides of the coin. All right. Then after that, you are supposed to do your SDE lah. So SDE. So definition of community-based tourism, followed by my example, followed by the effect. Okay. But this question doesn't require you to talk about the success and limitation. So you don't have to add in the success and limitation because the question just tell me what's the similarity, what's the difference. Okay. And then you move on to the SDE for ecotourism. So definition, example, and effect. Okay. So once you are done, then you continue with this thing called basis of comparison. Okay. So this one I need to explain a bit more. So when I talk about basis of comparison, the basis of comparison is based on what you can compare based on the two factors. What can you compare? So, example, apple and orange. So what can you compare? I can compare color, I can compare size. But if you want to go deeper, I can compare the nutrient level, Maybe I can compare the sugar levels. So all these are basis of comparison. So when I argue color, right, then apple is red, orange is orange lah. So it's different. Compare size, apple maybe seems similar size to orange. Similar size. Nutrients, maybe apple has less nutrients than orange because orange is vitamin C, right? Sugar levels, sugar level, maybe apple and orange has a similar sugar level. So these basis of comparison will direct your argument. So this basis of comparison will direct your argument and provide you with a level 3 mark, okay, which is what we want, right? So basis of comparison for this is, of course, objectives of tourism. So what is the type of tourism trying to achieve? So what is, I put here, trying to achieve. What is the type of tourism trying to achieve? Right? So for me, yes, they are trying to achieve sustainable tourism. Both is trying to achieve sustainable tourism, and both is trying to benefit local communities. But one focuses on cultural immersion and economics development, while the other focuses on environmental conservation. So it's very clear that the focus is different. Therefore, I must have this conclusion. Hence, they are similar in the overarching goals, which is the bigger goals, but different from specific approaches and sustainability and community involvement, right? So this is the basis of comparison that I'm looking at. So this is how you do your 9 mark question. Yes, it's a lot. It's really standardized, very detailed answer. Okay. But if you are used to it, you still writing, and then you know the idea. You must understand the idea very well. And you try to make connections or try to make links between CBT, ecotourism, and tourism. When you do your revision, you try to find out the similarities, they try to find out the differences. They try to make connection in such a way that, hey, this one actually big better, this one is actually lower, this one is not so good. When you study all this, then of course, at the end of the day, you are able to do this basis of comparison. Okay? For the exam, I know it's going to be a struggle, but we need to start somewhere. Right? So when you do your revision and when you do your basis of comparison, or you want to come up with your own answer between CBT, ecotourism, and tourism, then you can send to me your POC. See, then we can read, me and Melissa can read through and see whether it's good enough. Hmm? Okay. Any questions? 1 minute question. Come, let's go. Okay. If there's no other questions, okay, I hope I've addressed or tried to address the evaluation questions. Okay. Yes, the last question is a 9 mark question, so it's very long. Okay, it's very long. So you can just read through it, try to understand what I'm saying. Remember, the 3 mark question, the ecosystem is just going straight to the evaluation, and then of course your evaluate for reliability of data collection is two-sided, and then the conclusion with the anomaly. Okay, so that's it. I will post this up on our Google Classroom. I will also put up the recording so that you can actually look through. But the recording I think takes about a while to be downloaded. Okay, so you have to give me time to download. Okay, I will see you guys on the 11th of October. On the 11th of October, I'm going to focus on GI. Okay, so that we can try to score our GI evaluation. Okay, tourism content, GIA content, tectonic content, that one is easy for you to just memorize. Okay, okay, that's it. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow for your papers. because I'm invigilating some of you. So all the best for your papers. Huh? All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. See you.